Hi there, my name is Tatiana and you're watching YouTube channel You Can. So today I would like to share my garden planting strategy with you. We have what I recorded last time about my walk-in raised bed. So I want to show you a few strategies that I have going here, and hopefully they work out for me, and maybe it's something that you can use in your own gardening as well. So I've never done this before and I'm just experimenting this year, and I just wanted to share with all the viewers, and maybe this turns out to be a genius plan and someone else can use it in their gardening as well. So far, everything that I've done as far as companion planting and planting vegetables closer together and mixing different varieties and different kinds of vegetables together has worked out well. I had made a video a few weeks ago about mulching, and in that video I had shown the cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli that I have here, and I had planted tomatoes in between. I just want to give you a little update so that you can see how these tomatoes look. They have grown significantly, and it doesn't look like the broccoli and the cauliflower that I have grown here is hurting their growth at all. They're thriving. They're doing really good. So I hope they continue to do well. So today I will be planting okra, and I don't have that much space left to plant in here, but you can see I have 2 rows of lettuce right here, and they are mature and I am harvesting them, but because we have a family of 3, we don't eat that much lettuce. A head of lettuce is enough for all 3 of us for 2 meals. So this lettuce is going to be staying here for a while. So if I wait until I have harvested all that lettuce and the space has been cleared out, it will be too late to plant okra. So I have a packet of okra here. I actually got this from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, rareseeds.com. They have a wonderful variety of different heirloom seeds. We've been planting seeds from their catalog for 3 years now, and they do wonderful. Actually, those tomatoes that you see, the row of tomatoes, I started those from seed. They're from the Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. So is this lettuce. So is this lettuce right here. The peas as well. So anyway, on the package it says that it takes about 7 to 14 days for the seeds to sprout. So I need to plant them as soon as possible so that they have enough of season to actually to mature and produce. So I'm going to utilize this space right here. You can see right down the middle here between the last row of lettuce and that little lettuce over there. So by the time the okra plants have grown to the size where they need more space, this lettuce will be out of here by that time. But I will have saved on time by putting them in the soil in what seems a cramped space, but they will have time to germinate and sprout and start growing in time to produce okra before the season's over. So the first step is to till up the soil a little bit, fluff it up, and make it seed friendly. So I will be using this tool. I like this tool really much because it works the soil really well. The one side is like a pitchfork, the other side is more like a cutting edge. But I will go through this entire space and fluff the soil up. It is very important to make the soil fluffy and nice, and break up the big chunks or pieces of soil if you have big lumps of soil, because if the seeds land in hard or soil or in between 2 big clumps, there's a big chance that they won't germinate, they will rot. So I will just work this whole row up. All right, so now that I have worked the soil up, you probably can see on the video here that the soil is darker because I've worked it up. It is time to put a little bit of fertilizer, and I use the organic tomato tone tomato and vegetable food. It's by Epsom. We really like this fertilizer. I've been using it for for 3 years now, and it works really well for any kind of vegetables. So I will take just a little bit of that and spread it through the row where I will be planting the okra seeds, and then I will go and work that row again with the same tool that I used to work it initially, to mix the fertilizer in with the soil. You don't ever want to plant seeds right on top of fertilizer, because the fertilizer has different things in it that could actually burn the seed or prevent it from sprouting, because once the sprout or the roots start coming out, because the fertilizer is so strong, it will burn those off. So you want to mix it well into the soil before you plant, whether it be seeds or plants. So I've put some of the fertilizer into this little container. This is my garden Tupperware. Works really well because I don't know, you probably don't want to grab fertilizer with your bare hands or gloved hands out of the bag. So I just do like so. Just a little bit. I don't need much. And then when the okra seeds sprout, what I will do is I will go and I will apply some more fertilizer about 2 or 3 weeks into their growth. That way they're well fertilized the entire time. By the way, benefits of growing your own garden: you get strawberries right out of your own patch. My husband just picked them. All right, so I have the fertilizer, and I will just work the soil like that, like so, into the ground. By the way, if you noticed, we have drip irrigation right here on the side. If you do put drip irrigation in, it's a great investment for gardeners. One thing you have to keep in mind is that you want to be very careful with those drip hose, because they are fragile, and if you happen to knock one with a tool, like crash into it, there will be a hole and you will have to fix it somehow. So you want to be careful not to step on them, not to use any tools on them. So as you can see right here, I have a big lettuce, and it's kind of covering the row that I'm making. So next time I pick lettuce to make salad, I will cut this one out because it's really overlapping on my okra space. All right, so you can see there's big lumps. As I go through, I will break them up to make it more or less even. But this is the idea. You draw a line in this fluffed up soil. You can use a tool, you can use your hands. This soil is soft enough that I can actually just use my hands, but you can use a hoe, a tool like this, anything really. All right. All right, so I'm at the end of the row here, and as I went, you can see there's a little valley here, and I would just go and crush up the big chunks of soil if they came along. So that is done, and we're ready for the next step. Alrighty, so the next step will require either a brick or a piece of wood, something that you will be able to tamp the soil down with a little bit. And the reason why this is necessary, now you can plant without doing this, but I will show you what will happen. So look at this space right here where I've tamped it down. The level of the soil is pretty much even. And if you look over here where it's not tamped down, there are little holes in between pieces of soil. And if a seed falls down into that little hole and then I cover it up yet, it may be lower than everything else, or maybe higher up because it fell maybe on top of one of these little soil bunches, and it will sprout faster than something else. So in order to have a more even and uniform germination or sprouting, you want to tamp the soil down, not hard, just enough to make it level. Also, it helps keep the moisture in this space so that the seeds can actually germinate, because seeds need moisture in order to start growing. So if moisture drains away too fast, they may end up not even being able to sprout. It's all ready to plant. Now, like I said before, you don't have to tamp it down, but the rates at which the seeds will be sprouting and how big and how fast they will get will depend on how far the seed fell into the soil if you don't tamp it down. So here I have my packet of seeds. It's raining here a little bit, so I left them out on the ground and they got a little wet, but that's okay. So I'm planting Okinawa pink. I guess that's how you pronounce it, okra. We've never grown this variety. Giving it a shot. The description said that it was really good, so that's why we're trying it this year. But if you take a look here, those are the okra seeds, and it says to plant them 18 inches apart. I don't ever plant seeds with the spacing that they say on the package, because sometimes a seed might not sprout, something might eat a plant when it comes up. So I'll plant all of these into this row, and this row is probably, what is it, 14 feet long, I'm thinking? Yeah, 12 to 14 feet long. So I'll just evenly space these seeds out so that I have an even row, and then if they all come up by chance, if they're too close, what I will do is I will carefully take the already sprouted seeds, the plants, the little plants out, and I will transplant them elsewhere. That's about, thinking about 10 inches or so apart. So the cool thing about gardening, it's not an exact science. You know, seeds placed a little bit closer, a little bit further is perfectly okay. It's not a life and death situation. I hope not. I mean, unless you're Robinson Crusoe, then it might be a life and death situation. But okay, I got to the end of the row and I still have a little bit of seeds left. I won't put them back in the package because the package might get lost till next year. They might expire. Some seeds don't do well for a following year in the package, like carrots. When the aroma of the carrot seed has evaporated, there are big chances that the carrots won't grow. So I don't know about okra, but I will just go and I will plant some of these seeds right in between the ones that I already planted, just to make sure that I plant them all. All right, so the last and final step is covering the seeds with soil. I forgot to look on the package, but generally 2 to 3 inches, half an inch to an inch depth in soil on top of the seed. So not a big deal, a little bit more, a little less. So what I will do is I will take the soil from the sides here and I would just crumble it down on top of the seeds like such, kind of breaking up the clumps if there are any, if they're too big. And I will do that through the whole row. And then after I cover them up, I will go through and I will tamp the soil just a little bit down to make sure that there's no air pockets around the seed, because like I said before, the seed needs moisture in order to be able to sprout. So we want to make sure that it is covered by soil on all of its sides. So just like that. That's it. Thanks for watching. And if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.